Hey, what's going on out there? YouTube family, this is Sammy Leggett here representing TeamJVS. I know I'm late and $1 short, but I'm here to talk to you guys about Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I'm just going to give you a little bit of backdrop. When Cyberpunk initially came out, I had just gotten a PlayStation 5 and I started playing Cyberpunk, and it didn't give me as many issues as everybody else because everybody else, I think, presumably either had a PlayStation 4 or had the previous Xbox. And it was a lot of issues, a lot of people talking about it, and I kind of stuck with it. I never, returned my copy. I upgraded the digital version to the PlayStation 5 version, and, it's working really well now. But, the damage had been done. But when I first saw the trailer for the anime, you just don't know, I was losing it. And I've done everything I could initially to try to see if I could get, to check it out early because I knew we had TIFF going on. We had all these film festivals. So I wanted to get, the coverage to you guys early. But now we've all seen it. I've seen it. We may do another branch off discussion about this, but I want to get you guys know my clear, concise thoughts about this. And I freaking loved it. It was off the chain. First off, the animation, like the sheer amount of storyboarding, animation style, like details. The details in this, if you've played the game of Cyberpunk, is point for point everything they've created in the game. Like to a T. It's scary. Down to, if you go to certain bars in certain locations, see certain people, you'll see them from the game. You'll see the locations from the game in this. Down to when we first get introduced to your main character, David, and he just kind of jumps down into the trash can. And he starts seeing people on the side of the street doing stuff. The detail in the animation is awesome. But the crazy thing is the action. The action is so good. Like the gunplay, the brutality, like it is all there. The only time that I don't really vibe with the animation is when it's like the slow-mo, because it's like phase to phase to phase to phase to phase of the same exact individual or whatever object is moving very fast. I think that it works in context of how this is, but I feel like they could have found a different way. But it would have probably spent a lot more time that it didn't need. So it's not really it's just a nitpick. But the animation is so good because the character movements, like whether it's emoting or anger, or even if there's somebody dealing with a cyber attack, so to speak, and their eyes start to jumble or their face or their mannerisms start to shake, or even when somebody is in pain, throbbing pain, and just the expressiveness of it. It is all the way anime, and I love it. I do know that there is a Japanese translation. There's Japanese actors that do this. I only watched the dub, so I do know that the main character is same main character that plays the role in Demon Slayer, and I was like, Zach, is that you? And sure enough, it is, and he does a stellar job. They've got a couple different names in this one, but I'm not gonna label all that. I'm gonna focus on the characters because David is a cyberpunk. He, is trying to sell some stuff. He's trying to make it in school. He's really smart. His mom working these late shifts to try to pay his way to make sure he gets up to the corporate ladder and becomes a suit. If you know what a suit is in Cyberpunk, there's 3 different hierarchies. There's people that are out, in the desert. There's the suits. There's the cyberpunks. And she's trying to get her son to be a suit to climb up, and he doesn't believe that that's what he's meant to do, but he believes and perceives that he could be special. Tragedy befalls him very quickly and very early, and he's left with this cybernetic enhancement that can possibly change the trajectory of his life, for good or for bad. And the funny thing is, before that happens, he's been looking around. He's been almost like smelling and sensing something that he's searching for. And that ends up becoming the character of Lucy. Now, Emi Lo plays the role of Lucy. She is a net runner. Best way I can kind of put it without spoiling too much. She can go in and out of cyberspace, so to speak. But when they first meet, that is when things start to ramp up for his life, because now that, he's changed, and he knows for a fact what he can do. What does this mean now that he has somebody that he's trying to fight for or fight to be around? And that's where the show moves from there. Like, the amount of groundwork they leave for this, and I'm not talking about just the visual scope, because when it gets to the back half, like, the animation and the fights are insane. But it's more so the foundation of this love story that's in between everything that's happening. This love story, this kinship. Because in all honesty, like, David as a character, he doesn't have any real friends outside of his mom. And so when he gets hooked up with this crew, these cyberpunks, he starts to develop and connect with a real family. And especially with the character Lucy, it changes him. It changes him from the inside out. And I'm all the way there for it, but it is a very hard story to watch. At times it's sad. At times it's very uplifting. At times it's like almost like a Game of Thrones situation. Giancarlo Esposito is in this, and he plays a certain kind of suit, so to speak. His name is Faraday, and Faraday is a notorious, nefarious, dastardly soul. And, you know, he plays that role so well. I noticed his voice immediately, but just using Faraday as an example, some of the things and some of the people that are pulling David in these different directions, it's all seeming like it's for a purpose. We just don't know what it is. But if you look at any anime, if you pay attention to the outro and you pay attention to the intro, you know what it's really truly about. And that's all I'm going to say without spoiling anything. I think it was great. Like, everything about it, like, it was bittersweet. It was emotional. It was exciting. I mean, characters like Rebecca. Like, I think Alex Conceres, she's been in a lot of different things, but she plays the role of Rebecca. Rebecca is just sort of random cyberpunk chick. It's got like cybernetics all over, but she is such a random character. Like, it's like almost like you take Harley Quinn, put her in Cyberpunk. That is Rebecca, but way more cooler, way more cuter, and loyal. And it's very fascinating when you have certain characters like that just kind of like dig their claws in. Like, this is one of the better animations, better animation series that Netflix has done probably since Arcane. I highly recommend you check out Cyberpunk Edgerunners. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I know I'm being very vague in terms of where the trajectory of the story goes. I just want you to know it is very violent, very rated R, definitely explicit, sexual scenes. I'm trying to think, there's not a lot of nudity, but there's a lot that happens, and it's really rough. It's really rough at times. But I rate this at a 9 to 10 out of 10. I really, outside of, you know, the slow speed thing, and even that, they found ways of like, it gets crazy. I'm gonna just say it's a 10 out of 10. I think you just go watch it. And if you've never played the game, this may give you that push that you need to go and check out the game. If you have a PlayStation 5, or if you have Xbox One X, or the newest Xbox, definitely go and get the game. I think you're not going to be disappointed there either. I'll talk to you guys soon. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell button. Go and check out Cyberpunk Edgerunners is available right now. Peace, guys.